Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about things to keep in your car for road trips. So I have all of the items here laid out for what we usually have in our car all the time. They're typically in the front, so I don't really have to think about having them. It takes up space that I don't really use for anything as far as cargo normally. So they're just always there and available to us. Things that I would recommend that you have, especially for a Tesla, would be a charger, of course. So the charge cable, this mobile charger, comes with a couple adapters. So it does have a NEMA 1450 as well as just the 120 wall outlet. But also, importantly, it does have an adapter for our J1772 charger. So a lot of the public chargers that you might come across in, say, a shopping center or something like that will have the J1772, so you can actually take that to your advantage by having that adapter. Always good to have. We actually do have a few of them. We have 3 of them because I'm actually using one to charge right now, as well as we have 2 in the bag, and actually I think I do have another 1 or 2 in the other car. So lots of those. They're always good to have. Definitely try not to lose them because they are easy to forget on charge cables if they don't have something to put the charger back into. And those are like $100 or something like that. So definitely keep track of those. Now, I do have an extension cord, which an extension cord is nice to have if you want to have a nice, good, low gauge extension cord. But really, you only want to use an extension cord for a limited amount of time, even with a nice gauge like that. And it's okay because you're using the 120, but obviously if you are going to use a 240 volt, you're going to have a different cable, of course, but also you're going to have a really nice cable, which is actually what we do use in our garage here. So you could get a heavy duty extension cable, NEMA 1450, and use that. That is a good option. And if you do have that extension cord, then it's also nice to have a couple of these adapters. So if you have like a dryer plug or something like that, we convert them to NEMA 1450 and then you can use it that way. Now, when you do use those adapters, you do need to make sure that you are not drawing too many amps. So you do have to set it on the car that you're going to be using lower amperage. So whatever amps would be safe for that outlet. So usually if it's dryer, it's like 32 or something like that. So lower it down to like 24 amps or something to make sure that you're not gonna trip that breaker. So that's what you would do for charging. Now, for the event of a nail in a tire or something like that, we do take this tire repair toolkit with us all the time, have that available, some tools, a little multi-tool to get like a screw or nail out of the tire, tire pressure gauge, some gloves. Obviously you're going to need the wrench and a jack and these pucks, so Tesla pucks. So I will have links in the description for these items or similar items that you can find those on Amazon. But definitely good to have the jack and everything so that you can actually get the tire off the vehicle. It's much easier to repair a tire when it's not on the car. So that's obviously a good way to do it. And then we need to air up the tire. So we have this as well. So we can just air up that tire real quick. Now, this is just a first aid kit. So simple first aid kit, some band-aids and stuff in there that we take along everywhere we go. And then something to clean the windshields off. That's nice to have sometimes. Get a lot of bugs or something on the trip. So yeah, all this stuff we just put in the front and then we never really have to think about it. So that's it, just the few items that we actually keep in our car all the time so that we have them available, especially on road trips. Nice to have those charging options. And also, you definitely want to be prepared for having a flat tire. As long as it's just a nail or something like that, you can just easily repair it yourself without having to wait for roadside service or anything like that. Definitely helpful and saves a lot of money and time if you come across that situation. Now, of course, uh, sometimes your tire is going to be just in a situation where you're going to need a new tire completely. So in those cases, it would be nice to have a spare. However, the Tesla and actually most cars that we've had over the last decade, actually, have not had spares. So none of our minivan didn't have a spare, of course, and then uh, our Priuses didn't have spares. The Leaf didn't have a spare, um, and none of the Teslas have had a spare. So that's definitely a trend that basically all car manufacturers are going these days. They don't have a spare. You can get spares if you want, but then you're gonna have to find somewhere to put it. It would be nice actually to get one of those spares that you know inflate when you need them to. So you just have to like inflate it, and but otherwise the whole tire just kind of collapses on itself, and so it's just the size of the wheel. And then you could probably fit something like that in the under trunk storage, or maybe even the frunk if it collapses enough. It's hard to say. That would be also an expensive item that you're carrying around all the time. That, knock on wood, I have never had to actually use that. So typically, when I've had a tire that had the air out, it was just a situation that there was a nail in it or something like that, and it could be at least temporarily fixed with just plugging it. So anyway, those are some things to keep in mind for a road trip and keep in your car. So that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.